Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. COVID-19, new cases in Canada and closer to home. Public hearings begin for the new Arts and Tech High School. Coyote attacks being reported on small dogs in the Fraser Valley. And would you lie to an airline to get a change to your flight? Thanks for watching. We are committed to providing local news and news that impacts our local audience from Harrison to Garrison, Greendale to Hope, and everywhere in between, including Agassiz, Rosedale, Squeala First Nation, Fairfield Island, Ryder Lake, Chiacton First Nation, Yarrow, and downtown Chilliwack. And our special guest this week, Jilly and McCaughan, our guest anchor who does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Our top story. Well, our top story this week was our top story last week, and that's, of course, the evolving global COVID-19 story. Fraser Health announced one new case of COVID-19 in BC. That's a total of 9 in British Columbia, 3 in Fraser Health. Also, a large number in Ontario and 1 in Quebec are being reported. The patient, a male in his 50s, is in isolation at home with support and monitoring from public health teams. He recently returned to Canada from Iran. And there are reports that the previous 2 cases in Fraser Health knew each other, both from Maple Ridge, both coming from Iran. Fraser Health will not confirm this information. Iran is one of the global flashpoints of COVID-19 expansion. The origin in that country is believed to have come from an expat involved in trade with China. South Korea and Italy are also areas where the virus is spreading rather quickly. In China, new reported cases have been on the wane, though that is still where the lion's share of cases have been reported and where the greatest number of deaths have occurred. And we'll have more on this story in the weeks ahead and report more frequently if there are reports of cases closer to home.
Last week, chillTV told you about action taken by Fraser Health against the owners of Waverley Retirement Residence. Retirement Concepts owns 13 properties in BC, and all are under the microscope. The Waverley was considered a high-risk facility. Their new owners, a Chinese holding company, took over the properties in 2017. 2 have been in the news recently, Chilliwack's Waverley and 1 in Summerland. Since the purchase, there has been a notable decline in service and staffing. Now, a class action lawsuit filed by a Victoria lawyer represents a number of families in claiming damages from Retirement Concepts, Cedar Tree Investments, and the BC Ministry of Health.
Chilliwack City Council held a public hearing that started the process of development and zoning permits for the new Arts and Tech High School next to A.D. Rundle Middle School and on the property of the old UFE campus. Last December, Victoria provided $15 million for a new 600-seat secondary school at the former North Campus. The buildings already feature classrooms and an auditorium with childcare on site, and that'll be renovated to fit secondary school programming. The new school is set to open for students in September of 2021.
The BC Conservation Officer Service is warning pet owners and the public after 1 dog was killed and at least 3 other pets injured in coyote attacks in the Fraser Valley. There have also been several reports of aggressive encounters with coyotes in highly populated areas, which is not normal behavior and a public safety risk. The exact locations have not been released. Conservation officers suspect coyotes may be becoming more aggressive with dogs at this time of year because they are on the hunt for a mate.
Liberal MLA Rich Coleman will not seek re-election and is retiring. After a local newspaper interview and then very quietly early Saturday morning, BC Liberal leader Andrew Wilkinson tweeted out the release that MLA Coleman will not seek re-election when the next provincial election is called, whenever that is. The timing coincides with the anniversary of his first nomination, February 29, 1996. He was first elected as MLA May 28, 1996, and he has been Public Service Minister, the Deputy Premier, and interim leader of the Liberal Party since the resignation of former Premier Christy Clark. One of the final pushes from Coleman, when the Liberals were still in power, was to lobby for the 6th laning of Highway 1 through Langley. chillTV reached out to the 2 Chilliwack Liberal MLAs for comment, and so far, we've had no response.
An Abbotsford airline passenger lied to Swoop Airlines about having the coronavirus in an attempt to get their flight plan changed. It happened last Friday at Abbotsford Airport. Swoop issued a statement saying the person later admitted to having lied in an attempt to change their flight plan. Swoop requires a note from a physician to change one's ticket due to a medical situation. An airline spokesperson said staff took the person's visit very seriously and sanitized all appropriate surfaces. In the end, the passenger lied. Swoop is not providing any other details. And when we return, the annual Fraser River cleanup.
Nasi goreng is an Indonesian fried rice dish. It's an original recipe that has been handed down from Doutzen that we at Hofstede's have been using for 20 years. It is mildly spicy with hints of curry. Come in and enjoy it on Thursdays in our cafe as well as in our takeout section every day. Please come and enjoy.
The Chilliwack homeless count was this week. This is part of an endeavor with the FERD for a valley-wide homeless count. This helps organizers to determine how to help those without adequate housing, tracking changes in homeless trends as well as population demographics, and raise public awareness. One of the tragedies that officials are seeing now is that more seniors who don't have an income to support themselves are now on the streets.
You have seen them all over the valley, the big white trailers for movie and TV filming called the circus. These trailers hold everything from makeup and dressing rooms to accommodating the stars. They are tricky to build and there is an expertise behind them. There is a local company that builds them. The Chilliwack Economic Partners Corporation announced the expansion of North America Trailer Company Limited in Chilliwack. This local manufacturing company is expanding into a 30,000 square foot facility on Yale Road. This new facility will be in addition to their current location, also on Yale Road, bringing total square feet to 50,000. North America Trailer Company manufactures a specialized product line under the Jexcar brand that supports the motion picture and television industry in Canada and US-wide. All trailers are engineered and built in Chilliwack from the ground up. Jexcar trailers include everything from wardrobe, hair and makeup salons, multicast units, and double expandable dining trailers to celebrity accommodations.
The annual Fraser River Cleanup returns to Gill Bar for its 13th year. It'll be Saturday, March 28th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for cleanup and celebration. You're asked to meet at the end of Gill Road, where attendants will help you park and direct you to the Cleanup Central. There will be a handout of gloves, buckets, pickers, and high visibility vests to make sure everyone is safe. After a morning of combing the riverbanks, there will be the annual barbecue hosted by Restaurant 62, as well as a prize draw.
Either late Saturday night when you go to bed or Sunday morning when you wake up, don't forget to set your clock ahead 1 hour for daylight saving time. Sunset will be around 7 p.m. as the days start to feel longer. Yes, we do lose an hour of sleep. When it comes to changing to daylight saving time on a permanent basis, don't hold your breath. Premier John Horgan made it clear he would like to see BC in sync with Washington, Oregon, and California. That will take an act of Congress in Washington, and for the foreseeable future, it's not even on the horizon. The president election is far more important, let alone lobbying for the change. Also, it's not an easy switch. Everything from stock markets to NHL schedules would be affected. And now, Don with the sports.
chillTV Sports, Chilliwack's High Road Academy, Abbotsford's Panthers, Christian, Terry Fox, and Yale are all in the mix for the BC High School Boys Basketball Championship this weekend at the Langley Events Centre. And to follow the 64 teams, all you do is head to the Langley Events Centre website. Deanna Tertier became the first University of Fraser Valley women's basketball player to earn Canada West Rookie of the Year honors as the conference handed out its major awards. The forward out of GW Graham Secondary in Chilliwack was named to the CW third All-Star and All-Rookie teams last week and had an outstanding debut at the university level this season. That was the upside of UFE basketball. The downside was UFE Department of Athletics and Campus Recreation announced that their men's basketball coach, Adam Friesen, will not return for the 2020-2021 season. In a rather tersely worded media release, quote, his departure was in keeping with privacy legislation and human resources practice. UFE is not publishing the details of this matter. Chilliwack Chiefs started the BC Hockey League playoffs with round one against the Surrey Eagles, and in a stroke of brilliant marketing, the Chiefs On the heels of the Carolina Hurricanes getting the Toronto Maple Leafs Zamboni driver David Ayres to help them out as a goaltender, well, the Chiefs did the exact same thing. They announced the signing of emergency goaltender Nick Wyatt, who also drives the Zamboni at the Chilliwack Coliseum. chillTV weather, a mix of sun and cloud heading into the time change weekend and the highs near 10. And thanks for joining us this week. And big thanks to our guest anchor, who you never see in front of the camera, Jill McCaughan. First off, she does a lot of stuff behind the camera for chillTV, but you're also a sports mom.
Correct.
Okay, and you have sports injury there that you're dealing with the shoulder.
Yep.
And it's an embarrassing one you don't want to talk about.
Not really, other than, no playing today.
But one of your kids involved with local sports.
Yes, my son plays for Chilliwack Giants, and he's on his 7th year, and he's quite loving it. It's a great association.
And you're not a bad singer either.
That's right. Yeah, you would have seen me at the Chilliwack Parade and also at my local church. So.
Great stuff. And if you'd like to share the spotlight, even if you've never been on camera before, send us a note to news@chilltv.ca with your CV, and if you have it, links to your video. And if there's something in Chilliwack and the Fraser Valley you feel we should be reporting on, again, send us an email, same address, news@chilltv.ca. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.